Hello, thanks for joining today. Today we're going to be talking about something called three-part breath. And in yoga, the practice of breathing is called pranayama. And prana is a life force. When you have chronic pain, sometimes the breath is extremely hard to access. Maybe you can relate to this. You might have a short, shallow breath that you feel mostly in the upper body or the upper chest. And it's really hard to get those long, slow breaths down to the belly. So breaking it up into pieces sometimes can be really helpful. So follow along with me if you'd like, or just watch. So this is, again, called three-part breath, and we're going to start down at the belly. So if it feels comfortable, you can just take your hands and just rest them onto your abdomen, or you can also rest your hands on your thighs and visualize and imagine your hands being on the belly. I myself actually like the tangible sensation of that feeling. So go ahead and just rest your hands there. See if you can find a little space to stack your shoulders above your pelvis, and maybe possibly find a bit of length through the spine. So there's plenty of space in the torso for your breath. And if it feels comfortable, you can allow the eyes to close or find a soft gaze toward the floor. And with our hands gently relaxed onto the belly, with the next breath in, breathe into the nostrils and see if you can allow the breath to fall all the way down into the belly, and then push gently against the fingertips. And then as you exhale, the hands come relaxed back toward the spine and the breath exits out the nose or the mouth. So whatever feels best. Again, breathing in through the nostrils. See if you can allow the breath to come all the way down to the belly, pushing gently into the fingertips. And then as you exhale, slowly the belly compresses and the breath exits the mouth or the nose. And let's just do that about 3 more times, relaxing the shoulders, sitting tall, breathe in. The breath comes down to the abdomen, and slow with your exhale. 2 more, take your time. Beautiful. And 1 more breath here. And release. Good. And now that might be kind of a challenge to get the breath all the way down to the belly. A lot of my clients do struggle with that abdominal breathing, and we're doing a diaphragmatic breath with that. We'll talk more about that in another video. The second part of three-part breath is right here at the rib cage. And so go ahead and feel to the sides of the rib cage, and you can rest your hands there right at the side, but see if you can allow the shoulders some space to relax so you're not creeping up to the head or the neck. So I'm just going to rest my hands gently at the side of the rib cage. And again, if that's too much, you're welcome to put your hands down and just imagine your hands in that position. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and expand the rib cage. And then with your exhale, slowly the hands begin to soften back towards the heart, and the breath exits again the mouth or the nose. Inhaling deeply. Expand through the rib cage. Exhale, soften. Good. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And 1 more breath here. Great. And then relax the hands, rest them down. So now we've done the belly breathing, we've done through and into the rib cage. The third part of three-part breath is just gently up here on the top. I have to be careful of my microphone. But just resting onto almost where you feel the clavicle or the collarbone here. You can rest your fingertips up at the top of the chest. And then this will be a much softer breath. As you breathe in, allow the breath to come in. And notice that the chest lifts gently toward the fingertips. And then as you exhale, it softens back to the heart. Again, breathing in through the nose. And slow down your exhale. Let's do 2 more, just like that. Good. And then just relax the hands down. And now go ahead and just close your eyes if you haven't already, and just begin to notice how you feel. Any sensations, any feeling, thoughts or emotions that come to the mind. We're just kind of checking inward what that feels like when we take a moment to pause and to breathe. And now, keeping your hands just where they are, see how it feels to try to first bring the breath down to the belly, expand the rib cage, as well as gently lift the chest. And then as you exhale, we'll relax the chest, release the rib cage, and the belly will slowly compress back toward the spine. And the breath will come out, again, the nose or the mouth, whatever you prefer. So let's see, we'll just do 3 breaths, just trying to see if we can access all 3 of those places without the hands resting on the area. So when you're ready, go ahead and breathe in. Allow, if you will, the breath to come down to the belly, rib cage expands and chest lifts. And then as you exhale, the chest softens, rib cage comes into center, and the belly releases. Beautiful. Again, breathing in and breathing out. This next breath, see if you can even imagine extending the back side of the rib cage where the ribs meet the spine. Breathing in. Hold torso breath. Breathing out. Good. One final breath. Beautiful. And if your eyes are closed, slowly flutter them open. And just take a moment to notice the seat resting to the support beneath you. Notice how the body feels. Sometimes just taking those quick little moments to initiate and practice a breath practice can help us regulate and relax our nervous systems, which in turn can have an effect on decreasing the chronic pain. So I hope you enjoyed this breath practice. Follow me for more movement practices and breath practices to move amidst the pain. Thank you.